During the next half hour, we'll take you to the ordination of 3 new bishops, the Archdiocese of Chicago. We'll take you to a sunrise prayer service for peace on Chicago's lakefront. You'll see how a Catholic elementary school found a unique way to ring in the new school year. Welcome to the October 2018 edition of Sanctuary. Hello, I'm Father Greg Sakowicz, Rector of Holy Name Cathedral. We begin our program with the recent ordination of 3 auxiliary bishops of the Archdiocese of Chicago. Cardinal Blaise Cupich was the principal consecrator and main celebrant of the ordination Fathers Mark Bartosik, Robert Casey, and Ronald Hicks. The Mass at Holy Name Cathedral was celebrated by more than 20 bishops and 200 priests. Let's check out some of the highlights.
Thank you to my fathers, my brothers, and my sons. I love being a Chicago priest. And I'm grateful for the call to become a bishop. My dad, may he rest in peace, said to us many, many times, I have been in over my head my whole life. Am I lying? It was his way of challenging us to put our faith forward in our life.
I pray that as we come to know each other, you come to trust me as a shepherd in this church. That as we walk together, that we can share and celebrate this abiding love of God that sustains us day after day. I pray that together we can be fed by the Eucharist that's at the center of our lives as Catholics, that communion, that oneness that nourishes us on joyful days and sorrowful days.
Please know this, we're going to give it our best, we're going to give it our all, try to surrender our lives completely to God, and always try to do God's will and not our own. For here's the thing, if we try to take these next steps on our own, that's impossible. But we're not on our own. We're with you. We're with the church. And we're with God. And as we know, with God, all things are possible. God bless everyone, and thank you.
Our radio and TV office has posted the entire Mass and ordination on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. Mundelein Seminary at the University of St. Mary of the Lake launched a 9-day novena of the healing of our church in September. The purpose was to unite Catholics in prayers for healing, justice, and hope in light of the ongoing sex abuse crisis within the church. 9 masses were held in parishes across the Archdiocese so Catholics in the city and suburbs could attend. The first novena Mass was held at the Chapel of the Immaculate Conception at Mundelein Seminary, and the final Mass was held at Holy Name Cathedral and celebrated by Cardinal Blaise Cupich.
We can never again abandon victim survivors. We must confront the truth, confront our own failures, and act to bring healing and justice to those who have been robbed of both. Anything less would mean we really do not know Jesus. Anything less would make us phony Christians.
Cardinal Cupich participated in a discussion at the Illinois Holocaust Museum and Education Center following the screening of a film called Denial, The film is about a Holocaust denier and the importance of always seeking the truth. Washington Post columnist E.J. Dion Jr. moderated a conversation with Cardinal Cupich and Rabbi Samuel Gordon.
Denial is an opening, not on the issue of is history true or not, or factual or not, but if you deny the reality of history, then it gives you the opportunity to bring out all the worst instincts of human behavior, because not only are we not learning from history, but we're denying the reality of history. And Charlottesville a year ago was a perfect example of opening up that door that has allowed that. And it's very frightening.
And we're very aware of that sitting in this building in this town, given the history of this place that we were in.
To take it into another venue, there are now deniers, and somebody is in court over this, about the shooting in Sandy Hook. And here you have parents who are reliving the pain of losing a child slaughtered by guns that should not be in society. And there is that picking of a lock to protect gun dealers, high-powered weapons. And so we see this all the time. The truth is subverted for financial gain, for whatever it is. But to me, that's an example of the kind of denial that's taking place even in our time on some social issues.
Our thanks to our friends at the Illinois Holocaust Museum and Education Center for hosting the screening of that very important film. Now we have a story that you may have seen on various media outlets. It's the story of our own Father Ezekiel Sanchez, rector of the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Des Plaines. He was one of 103 people aboard a flight in Mexico that crashed on takeoff, and everybody survived. Here's Jim Dish with the story.
Hundreds of worshipers attended a massive Thanksgiving at the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Des Plaines. They gave thanks that all 103 people aboard Aeromexico Flight 2431 survived as the plane crashed during takeoff in a storm at an airport in Durango, Mexico. Among those who survived were the rector of the shrine, Father Ezekiel Sanchez, and more than a dozen of his friends and family who were in Mexico to celebrate his 50th birthday.
We're offering this Mass in thanksgiving to the Lord for the salvation of their lives here, that no one was seriously injured and that everyone survived. Father Sanchez just suffered from a broken arm. He is in the hospital now recuperating from a surgery. And so we're praying for him and praying for everyone's recovery as we offer up this Mass to our Heavenly Father, giving him thanks for this miracle that truly did happen. And we give thanks to him with all the love in our hearts.
Father Sanchez underwent surgery on his arm while in Mexico before returning to the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe. He was joined by other plane crash survivors as he celebrated his first Mass back at the shrine. In his homily, Father Sanchez talked about the plane crash and its spiritual impact on some of the passengers.
As soon as the plane crashed, people were getting out quickly, it's true. But another source of miracle was coming out. I, as well as other brothers and sisters who were inside that crash, could have easily just ran away as fast as we could, but there were brothers and sisters inside the plane as soon as they got out that went back to help others get out. They did not care only about their own safety, but they cared about the safety of others. Where does that kind of strength come from? Where does that kind of thinking come from? You should get out, run away. Some did, but others came back to help the lady who couldn't walk, to pull out the man who was hurt, to get them out as quick as you can. We can say that the miracle is about the airplane crashing and not burning up immediately so people can get out. That might be a way. But the miracle I see was that there were so many who cared about each other.
And we give thanks to God for the survival of Father Zeke and all the passengers and crew members aboard that flight. Now we take you from the shrine up north to the south side of Chicago, where the Black Catholic Deacons of Chicago held its annual sunrise prayer service at Oakwood Beach. People of all faiths, ages, and ethnic backgrounds prayed for nonviolence in our streets, in our schools, and in our families. Stormy skies cleared just in time for the service. The videographer Michael May captured the highlights.
Look at that sun. Come on, we know God is good. See, we were out here at 5 o'clock in the morning when it was pouring down rain, and we had a talk with God. And he said, I got you. And he sent the sun. Now that's an awesome Father who sends us his son to brighten up our day. And I think we need to give praise and honor to a God that has given us such beauty by way of the sky, by way of the sea, by way of the land, the birds that are flying, the air, and the beautiful people on the beach. God looked at all of this and he said, it's good.
Near indeed.
Well, we had our annual sunrise prayer service, sending prayers up, asking blessings to come down, asking our people to come out and pray with us because of all the violence, and whether it's domestic violence, gang violence, or pre-fight, whatever. It all saddens us. So we know we need prayer, and prayer is the only way that we know that God looks at us and answers.
Violence in our homes, in our schools, in our streets, our nation, our world is destroying lives. Dignity and the hopes of millions of our sisters and brothers are being tested. And fear, they said, is polarizing and paralyzing our communities.
When we are afraid, when bad things are happening around us and we close ourselves off and lock ourselves in that proverbial room like the apostles, what is it that gives us the strength to step out and then start serving our community? And faith and community and hope are very important ingredients in bringing a consciousness that we can be confident and we can step out.
Prophets speak truth, and if we are faithful, that truth comes to reality. It doesn't demand that we know the answers, but rather it demands that we show up. I've worked in jails and detention centers all my adult life. And I can't think of anybody who said to me, Father Kelly, you know, what you said was really powerful. What they say is, I remember when you stood with me. I remember when you went to my jail cell. I remember when you stood beside me in court. I remember when you were with me when my little brother was killed. It's not what we say, but rather where we place ourselves. And we can wring our hands and we can say, what should we do? Or as we hear in today's gospel, we can accept to enter into the muddled mess of fear and pain and give witness to God very present.
One of the main principles of nonviolence is that you need to be courageous, that it takes great courage to go face injustice and start doing the work that it takes to correct an injustice.
In light of all the divisiveness that's going on in our country, what I actually looked at was that it was all racist. It was a mixed group. You know, our Hispanic brothers were here, whites, blacks. We were all praying to the same God, God of love, a God that does not see color. And we're all praying for an end to the violence. And just seeing the people coming, all the deacons that came from all over the Archdiocese, it just means a lot to know that people care that much. I mean, some of these deacons came from way out.
When we talk about promoting peace in our neighborhoods, we are reminded of the tough job faced by our first responders. The Academy of St. Benedict the African on Chicago's South Side had that in mind when they hosted a barbecue to thank first responders for keeping students and staff safe.
Almighty God, we pray to you to watch over our dear police officers and law enforcement officers everywhere and protect them with your love. This is our third annual barbecue for the law enforcement and first responders. And the 7th District Police are just great. They stop by, they talk with the kids, they spend time here. So we just want to say thank you to them. You know, this is a dangerous community, and we need their support for our children so that our children can feel safe when they're here at the school. We ask all this through your precious Son, Jesus, and let every heart say amen. Amen. May Almighty God bless you in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The food was delicious. I had the chicken, baked beans, rice, coleslaw, and hot links. Delicious.
Yeah, thanks for feeding me. I appreciate it. I'm going to be here a while today, so probably going to have to wind up eating twice, but I do appreciate it. We appreciate it. Every year they put this on for us. It means a lot. You know, we're glad we get to come out and, you know, have fun with the kids here.
It's very important for us as Chicago police to work with our children in the neighborhood. It develops a strong relationship, a bond, where they don't just see us as coming to get criminals off the street, but developing relationships so we can open up, talk about what's happening in our community, and it gives us reasons to go out in our community and connect with people for social reasons.
They need that, and the kids need to know all the policemen and stuff that come through this way, you know, because it's a familiar face and everything, and there's so much bad things going on in the neighborhood, and they need to know the friendly face against the unfriendly face.
Right now there is this divide between the community and the police, and we're trying to improve on that. And events like this is what we need to do more often to improve those relationships. So on a day-to-day, we're out there trying to improve our relationship with the community. We just would just like for the community to respond and, you know, talk to us as much as we like to talk to them. That way we can work together, you know, as a community.
The kids love it. They come out to have fun, to be with the police officers, so they can spend a little bit of time and notice that it's okay to be with the policemen.
We're very blessed to have a police officer, Officer Cleary, who comes to our school daily and always has the police patrolling the area.
I consider it an investment in these fine children that attend the school because I know they're going to go on to do great things. They're going to go on to a good high school, a good college, and they're going to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, and they're going to become productive members of society.
If you develop that friendship when they're younger and get the children to really understand they are community helpers, then that's something they can carry with them as they move forward. And they'll always see them in that role of a helper and someone who's trying to do good in the community. So one of our former students always calls Officer Clary Guardian of the Galaxy, and he is our guardian of our galaxy, so we're grateful.
I think the community has to develop a little trust with the police officers, and the police officers need to know the communities. I think the police are, for the most part, are good men and good women, and they're out here risking their lives for us every day. So I think that's why we have all the parents here. We invite the neighbors to come out and get a chance to meet the police officers, and hopefully they can build a relationship together where there's a trust amongst each other, and hopefully that can try to curb some of this violence that's going on.
Let's keep all our first responders in our prayers for all they do to help keep us safe. Stick around. Coming up, we'll report on showers and laundry facilities for the homeless, couples celebrating 50 years of marriage, and a magical first day of school. Back after a short break.
We have great news about Catholic education from two of the best-known Catholics in the Chicago area, Cardinal Supich and Sister Jean.
I'm here with Sister Jean in a Catholic school classroom, and Sister, we have something in common.
Oh, Cardinal, we each have a bobblehead.
Well, actually, Sister, I was going to say that we both benefited from Catholic schools and were taught by the sisters.
Oh, yes, we were, and it was the best education, faith, values, and how to love people of all backgrounds.
Unfortunately, many parents can't afford to send their children to Catholic schools, but now there's hope. A new tax credit scholarship program here in Illinois offers scholarships based on need, so students can attend a school of their choice.
My scouting report helped the Loyola Ramblers this year, and my scouting report on a tax scholarship is that donors will get a 75% state tax credit.
Sister Jean, that's a win-win for donors and for students who would get the gift of a Catholic education.
Speaking of a win-win, I think we should both have our own bobbleheads.
Now, Sister, that's what I call a slam dunk.
To find out how to donate and get your tax credit, go to archchicago.org and click on Tax Credit Scholarships. Thank you for supporting Catholic education. Chicago Catholic, in print or online, is your go-to source for news about the Catholic Church. In-depth coverage that stretches from Chicago to the Vatican, thought-provoking articles, including columns from Cardinal Blaise Cupich, photographs that inspire, reviews of movies, books, and TV columns. Go to chicagocatholic.com to subscribe. Be an informed Catholic. Subscribe to Chicago Catholic today.
Welcome back to Sanctuary. Catholic Charities is always extending a helping hand to those in need. Now Catholic Charities is offering showers and laundry facilities to the homeless at its headquarters building in Chicago. Our radio and TV office was at the dedication. Let's take a look.
The Holy Father recognized that care of the poor must extend beyond sustenance to services that recognize and support the dignity of each human being. So following the example he has set in Rome, we are dedicating today the Pope Francis Ministries, free showers and laundry facilities for our guests, and a new kitchen to prepare the nearly 2,000 meals that are served here every week. Our guests will have the comfort of a warm shower, free toiletries and clean clothes, and bedding. They can choose fresh clothes from our closet and enjoy a nutritious dinner. These small mercies, which most of us take for granted, can help preserve health and restore hope to those who live at the furies of society.
What we are doing here is exactly what the church should be doing. We are putting faith into action. And for over 100 years, Catholic Charities has been doing just that, looking for ways to serve the poor, to be a part of the community, and to put our faith into action. We are looking for ways of how do you help the vulnerable? How do you help the poor? And how do you do so in a way that is respectful and full of dignity to those that we work with and to those we serve? And as we do this, we know that we're following the example of Pope Francis. We are being people who are putting our faith into action, and today we celebrate that.
St. Vincent de Paul told us, "Your love is inventive unto infinity." So we ask your blessing as we rededicate the St. Vincent Center building to the poor. We ask you to bless our newly established Pope Francis Ministries, which include showers and laundry facilities for the poor and the homeless. We dedicate this American flagpole in the garden to the late Commander Paul Bauer for his extraordinary 31 years of service to the Chicago Police Department, and in recognition of our thankfulness and gratitude to him as the commander of the 18th District. We ask, too, that you bless our remodeled St. Vincent Centennial Garden and our commemorative brick pathways. The people whose names are on these bricks are precious to all of us. May their names and our love for them be in your presence always.
As always, great work being done by Catholic Charities. We encourage you to visit their website at catholiccharities.net to learn more about the services they offer and how you can help their outreach efforts. Now let's take a look at the jam-packed Holy Name Cathedral, filled with nearly 500 couples celebrating 50 years of marriage. Cardinal Supich celebrated the Mass and preached the theme of forgiveness. The celebration was highlighted by a renewal of vows by the Golden Jubilarians. Congratulations to all the couples celebrating 50 years of marriage. Now let's wrap up our program with another celebration of sorts, an elementary school ringing in the new school year. Videographer Brian Brock captured the highlights of a magical first day of school at St. Nicholas of Tolentine.
Today is the first day of school at the happiest place to learn, St. Nicholas of Tolentine School. As you can see, students are gathering for the first day of the 2018-19 school year, and we are excited to be here this morning as we welcome at 7:30 Cinderella in front of our castle, followed by a carriage procession with Dr. Rigg and Father Sal, our pastor, who will say the blessing, and Dr. Rigg will ring the school bell to begin the new year.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, my oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine headed my way, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay.
I want to congratulate all the parents for choosing St. Nicholas of Tolentine as a place of education for their children, Catholic school education. I am a product of Catholic school education. My children were products of Catholic school education. Thank you for choosing a Catholic institution like St. Nicholas of Tolentine.
Send your spirit upon the students and their teachers, St. Nicholas of Tolentine, and fill them with your wisdom and blessings. Grant that during this academic year, they may devote themselves to their studies and they share what they have learned from others. And this we ask through Christ our Lord.
Well, we choose a Catholic school education because we feel like it's a good experience. I believe this is it's a good experience for the kids and to know about God.
3, 2, 1.
School should be an exciting place for students and an exciting place to learn, where they come to grow and to develop their gifts and their talents. And we just want to make it special for our students so they know that they're welcome here, all are welcome here at St. Nick's, and that they have value, and we're just excited to meet them this morning.
A great upbeat way to end our program. We close with a reminder that you can hear me and others on our local Catholic radio programs Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 in the morning on WNDZ 750 AM. Please tune in. Thanks for watching Sanctuary. I'm Father Greg Sakowicz. May the Lord bless you and hold you in the palm of His hand.